ve'yeladov avois misachakim. Yeladim ve'yeladov avois misachakim. Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lilu Nishmas Imi Merasi Ruspas Mordechai, whose yahrzeit it is today. She was nifteres 25 years ago, at the very, very young age of 49. She's I'll talk about her chesed for a few seconds. Her whole life chesed, running to hospitals, visiting people, cleaning physically, doing sponge on people's homes. When we lived here in Eretz Yisrael, I remember going to neighbors' homes, cleaning, cooking, baking for people. Very, very much into chesed. Chesed with my father allowed him, soll sein gesund, allowed him to learn Torah all day. She was a principal and she was a teacher. She had 2 jobs. Chesed, chesed. Her neshama should have an aliyah. Hayoim, tisha, asor, yoim, sheim, shnei shavuos, v'chamisha yomim, la'omer, or ba'omer. Those were, it was shisha asor yoim, hayom shisha asor, those were her last words that she said before she went unconscious. Sfiras ha'omer, the refuas ha'admor, mevision shlita, kvay dushas mar Rabbi Yisrael ben Leah, esel refuah shleima. The zichram shel ha'noifel, this is somebody that sponsored yesterday, but to remember, Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Auerbach told his Talmidim, why are you running to Kvarim up north? We have Har Herzl, we have Gdoshim over here in Har Herzl. We have, in our shir, we have Binyamin Early, who was nifter, was killed. And I don't know where Robert is. Is he here? Nachnish, but he's a big, big part of the shir. The neshamas, the many, many neshamas should have an aliyah. This is so typical. I'm just going to read this. This is going around, so I thought you would enjoy. Sorry if you tried, because I can relate to it also. The island's going to have tainas, Chicago, Morocco, Austria. Sorry if you tried reaching me this past month, but I was in Orlando for Pesach. I'm leaving tomorrow to Kiristir, and Amir Hashem be back on the 25th. Keep in mind that I'm leaving on the 26th to Miran until May 13th. I'll be home until the 14th when I embark with KMR to Arizona for Shavuos until the 19th. Please remember that I'm scheduled to be upstate in the country for the summer from June 20th until September 9th. I'm also planning to be in Ummah for Rosh Hashanah from September 10th to Yom Kippur. I'll be going straight from there to Yerushalayim for Sukkot Simchas Torah. I'm hoping to be back mid-November so that I can join the MDY Hanukkah winter skiing break in Utah. I should be home for a day or 2 before leaving for Purim to Lezensk. Hope to speak soon. There's a lot of emes in it. Besides the ski trip to Utah, what are they talking about over there? Oh, Robert, we just mentioned you. Your son Binyamin's and Shama should have an aliyah. Amen. Hello, Rebelli. Recently, I celebrated 400 days with MDY, both while serving in the reserves in Yehuda and Shomron and on the Lebanese border. Baruch Hashem, we're learning, and there are other guys with us who are learning with you as well. It's truly incredible how you create a desire to learn Torah mechadash every single day. Thank you very much. I'd like to ask for the schos of MDY to down for my niece, who's in intensive care in serious condition with a flesh-eating bacteria attacked her brain. We're hoping for Yeshua. I would greatly appreciate if you could read this, include her in our Tils among the sick of Klai Yisrael, Sophia Barashira Chano Chaya. Full Shlema. May your merit mitzvahs and good deeds. Eli Weiss from Daf 56 in Sanhedrin. Itamar Avroni. Good evening, Rebelli. My name is Itamar and I live in Tel Aviv. I want to thank you for your share. I recently joined and I see that Daf Yomi in a different way, more enjoyable, yet still very clear and educational. You don't just say with abstracted idea, you really understand the reality of the sugya. It gives me strength and motivation to keep going, learn another daf, and arrive at the daf with a genuine desire to learn. So thank you very much. Because I heard your recent share that there's an organized trip abroad. I wanted to ask who the trip is intended for, and whether also, I read this in Hebrew, because we don't have organized trip, I am just going, the organization is done. It's easy, you don't have to, you just rent a car, and there's so much to do over there. Inspired by your PSA on wearing tefillin properly, we reached out. There's 2 emails I got this morning. So here's one. He was inspired by the shir about wearing tefillin properly. We reached out to the Tefillin Awareness Project to host an event at the Young Israel of New Rochelle. This past Sunday, Rabbi Avram Schachter and his team of Sefer were on site, ensuring that the positioning of the Shalyad and Shalroish were correct, bottom were square, stitching was straight, and blackening Ritzuas and bottom. Because of this program, approximately 100 of our members left with a peace of mind that their tefillin are kosher, and they are fulfilling a mitzvah thanks to the dedicated team at the Tefillin Awareness Project. This successful event would not have happened without your encouragement. Wishing you continue Hatzlacha. Ari Fischel, MDY Ambassador of New Rochelle, New York, Yishkoyach, Rebari. Dear Rebelli, today's shir about Chazor really spoke to me. Since starting from Sanhedrin Daf Yud, I've now posted on over 400 dafim continuously with my Chazorah WhatsApp group. And since it has completely changed my learning, turning the daf into something I actually retain, not just learn and move on. Baruch Hashem, the group has grown to nearly 250 people. We send out detailed daily Chazor notes. See attached, as well as short summaries, all based entirely on your shir, helping bring clarity, structure, and real understanding. Chazor forces deeper engagement with the shir and strengthens retention and makes it much easier to review even days later. We've also built a full archive on the website dafchazora.co.uk, an app on all platforms. So, kids, I don't know how to get to this. He didn't really show me how to. Maybe somebody will put it. Maybe the editors will put on a link to get to his WhatsApp group. Thank you for sharing that. Don't just teach the daf, but make it possible to build real, lasting chazara with appreciation in your Talmud. Zev Ritvo, Manchester. And over here you have Dov Frankel, MDY representative from Blooming Grove, New York, on the plane, learning with the MDY Gemara, Givaldig. MDY Coffee Corner, month, Kvoidat Tefillah Committee, Da Lifnei Miyat Ha'omed. Official edition MDY Shas, the Masechta by the Iranian Levi families, Perek, the Palachik family in memory of our grandparents. Daf Kuf, Mordechai Sepazim, Zechin Nishmas, Reb Dov Eliezer ben Reb Chaim Yosef Teichim Zechron Levracha. He has two sponsorships today, Mordechai Sepazim. David Salomon, the Masechta, dedicated memory of Avi Meir Reb Shmuel Baruch, Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doi Zechron Levracha. Joel Gedalis, Lenin Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalis, and Anam Satzach Baruch Nizvi Gashmis. The Palachik family foundation Zechin Nishmas, Rav Agoin, Reb Shlomo Palachik, the Meshach Zeilui, and Nanas Refuah Shlema, Olam Moshe Ben Izah, Nanas Refuah Shlema, and Arikas Yavim, Talea Basesta, Yisrael Malki. So proud of you, Yaakov Mordechai. Keep steiging. Sinley Gross and Family Canby Island, UK, in honor of Rebelli, who changed my meaning of life. Plenty Almoni. Yossi Markin Benny Nolda, Oiskim Mitzorchim Diwai, Kashbach Shalom Scharam. Ari Simon, Refuah Shlema Avi Moiri, Baruch Ben Miriam. Anonymous, Refuah Shlema Hayel, Yeshua Shalom Ben Yocheved Batya. MDY Kids, Innovations LLC, as a schus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fega, and Rivki Yehudis Bas Yafachai, Shkoyach. Mordechai Sapaznik is daily sponsor, Zechnishmas Ruspas Mordechai, Zechron Levracha. There should be a Melitz Yoshi for Rebelli and his entire mishpacha. The Rebelli should be able to give shir for many more Gezunta years. Yishkoyach Mordechai. Ari Simon Eli Hefter, Mark Ashkenazi, and Tzvi Spiro, Leili Nishmas, Ruspas Mordechai, on the yard site today. May Neshama be a Melitza Yosher. Shkoyach. Meaningful. The consortium, we just wanted to say hello. MDY Yard, Refuah Shlema Yonatan Eitem Ben Bashav Bracha, Refuah Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther, Refuah Hayeled Daniel Zev Ben Ayel Esther. All right, Rabbi, yesterday, for whatever reason, the Israeli guys, they left the shir in a very big high. What a shir, what a shir. Okay? Gishmak, we'll continue with a little bit of Agata here. 10 lines from the bottom of Daf Tzadik Tes on the base. Here's a question. If you learned the Daf, please don't answer. Only if you didn't learn the Daf. I think it will come as a surprise. If a kohen wants to perform avodah in the Beis Hamikdash, and he just relieved himself in the bathroom, what's the procedure? What should he do? What do you say? Anybody? Huh? Wash his hands. What else? Oh, the Americans are holding more than the Israelis. You learned it. You know it. Okay, so it depends. But Chiddush Gadol, that you would have to go to the mikvah. If one relieved himself. Mikvah. Unbelievable. Says the Gemara. 10 lines from the bottom, Tzadik Tes on the base. Shaul ben Dama ben Achoyses Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel's nephew asked him, Kigoinani, Shalamaditi kol Torah kula. I learned all of Torah. So he asked Rabbi Shmuel, I learned the entire Torah. So there's a few things we have to understand here that we probably won't understand. What does it mean I learned the whole Torah? Who learns the whole Torah? How can you possibly learn the whole Torah? Okay, I learned the whole Torah. Ma'u lilmoid chachmas yivanis. Can I learn the chachma yivanis? Now we learned on Daf Samach Dalet. That's the video I want to show you, where the story. Oh, here, I'll show you the video.
Φέρετε τα πρόβατα. Ίσον χρόνων εν τη εργασίω ασχολούμεθα, ου παραδιδόμεθα εις τα σκύρα σου.
They made a gzera that you're not allowed to learn Chachmas Yavanis. So Taisus over here says, look over there, and over there in Daf Samach Daled, Taisus says that he was close to the government, and he had a heter to learn the Chachma. So he wants to know, can I sit back and relax? I learned all of Torah, so now I want to learn. Today they have the apps. You can learn Spanish in a few days. You can learn this. I want to learn something. I want to learn chess. What do I do? Kara olav amikra hazeh. He says absolutely not. Lo yamush sefer haTorah hazeh mepicha v'yigisa b'yom v'laylo. Had a guy came to me 2 days ago. He's waiting for me after Shachar. He said, I just want to speak to you for 15 minutes. So I'm like, this is not the first time, not the 100th time. I never in my life had a meeting for 15 minutes. It's usually an hour and a half or whatever. I know the trick. And the answer is, I'm sorry. She says, I don't want to give you musar, but you should make time for other organizations and other stuff. Okay, shkoyach. So I said, I have time for you. Come between 3 and 4 in the morning. I told him this thing right over here. It's not day and night, then I could come, I could talk to you. Otherwise, if instead of your meeting, I could also give a shir, a Mishnah Brura. Somebody just said, I have an unbelievable idea. Give shir Mishnais. It's a great idea. On Taharis, on Kachin. You make a siyum with it. Great, these are all great ideas. Then that's when you could learn Yavanis.
Continue the story.
No, it wasn't 3. I didn't say 1. It's between 3 and 4 when it's not day and night. Find the time that's not day and night. Then that's when you should study it. So this is a shita. Rabbi Shmuel holds that means you should be learning Torah day and night. All your available time, you should be learning Torah. He argues on Rabbi Shmuel ben Nachmani. Pasuk Zena loy chayva v'loy mitzvah ela bracha. This pasuk is not a chiyuv to learn day and night. Rakash Baruch Yeshua shedivrei Torah chavivim olav b'yoser. I'm not even going to try it. Should I try it?
Yes. Divrei
Torah chavivim. Hold on. Stop. Go. Oyoy shedivrei Torah chavivim aleihem b'yoser. Okay, I'm not even going to try the high part. Mama. Shedivrei Torah chavivim olav b'yoser. He loves Torah so much. Shenemar mishorse Yeshua benun nar lo yomish mitoch oyel. He didn't stop learning Torah in the base medrash. Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yeshua kol kach chavim alecha divrei Torah. If that's the case, you love it so much. Lo yomish sefer Torah zeh mipich. I'm giving you a bracha that you continue. It's unbelievable. When you do something, you want something so bad, Kadosh Baruch Hu gives you the bracha, you can continue. So we have 3 shitas. Yesterday we learned, V'gisa b'yoyim v'layla. You should learn a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the night. Don't tell the Amaratzim that you could actually be yoytz with Kriya Shema, because then they'll take advantage of it if they have kavana. Shulchan Aruch says you're really not yoytz with Kriya Shema unless like you think during Kriya Shema that this is Talmud Torah, okay. And then we have the Shita of Rabbi Shmuel, you should be learning day and night. And then we have the third Shita. But everybody agrees that there's a chiyuv to learn day and night, not in the day and in the night. Just from right over here, this pasuk, there's other psukim also. We say in Kriya Shema, v'dibart bam, v'shivtecha b'veisecha, v'lechtecha b'derech. You should talk in Torah when you're walking, when you're going, when you get up. Akopadim, this pasuk, we have three shitas. This Madam says it's only a bracha. Learning, there's different pshatim here. Learning should not be like you're forced to learn. Like you have to. In other words, don't view Torah, there shouldn't be a trauma. Oh, you have to. The gun to your head. You learn Torah because you love to learn, you want to learn, you feel like it's geschmack. But at the same time, remember, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave a tzivut to learn Torah. But it shouldn't be like a chayv. Everybody knows, Reb Chaim Kanevsky said, these are my chayvas, every day, chayvas. So I was happy to learn that Reb Elyashiv had a different way of doing it. And some people connect to Reb Elyashiv, some people to Reb Chaim Kanevsky's way. Reb Elyashiv had hours. Learn hours. I learned 14 hours a day. I have to get to 14 hours. Now, if my son's chasana happens to be that day, so I can't really go, I'll go for the chuppah, for this, and I have to continue the hours. Reb Chaim Kanevsky was more 7 daf of Bavli, 7 daf of Yerushalmi. So his chayv was in amounts. The Elyashiv said, listen, I can't do amounts, I can't guarantee I'm going to learn 7 daf. Maybe it'll be 3 daf today. Maybe it'll be 10. I don't know. I'm going with time. And I thought about it in yeshiva, it was more of a time thing. And for me personally, I felt constrained. It felt like I was in a prison. I couldn't get out until 1:15. Everybody's waiting for that. As soon as 1:15, you jump out of your seat and you run. If I had a hespek, they told me, listen, you have to learn a daf, at 1:15 is nothing. I'll go to 4. You have to do the daf. So different people connect to different things. If you tell somebody, okay.
They translated Torah to Greek, so that means all of the Sanhedrin knew Greek. So they all knew it.
Now there's Greek and there's Chachmas Yavanis. There's a Chachma. Chachma is sign language. It's a big nafkamina. It doesn't say Yavanis. It says Chachmas Yavanis. There's some sort of Chachma. I don't know what it is. It's you go like this, and they know that it means get a pig. They didn't say get a pig. No. This Zakin.
That's philosophy.
No, I don't know if it's philosophy. It was a secret language.
It's like secular studies. Philosophy studies.
That was Yavanis.
I don't know. In my another shout out to my mchutenista, the sourdough bread lady. Her mishpacha, they have a secret language. So when my son-in-law came, they're talking stuff about us next to us. My son-in-law, my daughter, they have these secret words, a whole language in their mishpacha. That if you're part of that Jacob's whatever family, you speak these words, like they're throwing things out, like the guy's an idiot, but they say it, kabastio bloplo. Like what? What just happened? What? And eventually you start picking up that they mean this and whatever. I haven't heard it in a long time, but anyway. Mom, she got Chachmas at Jacob's. And Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? Shalom Aleichem from? Shalom Aleichem. Who else? Anybody else a guest? David, you're a guest? Shtickle, yeah. Okay. We have a pasuk here that's very difficult to understand. It's a pasuk in Eov, they're not easy. And if he'll steer you mipitzar from a very narrow opening, rachav. It's wide. It's narrow, it's wide. Loy mutzuk tachtea. It's not solid underneath. Says the Gemara, HaKadosh Baruch Hu acts differently than a human being, obviously. The way human nature is, a friend is constantly telling his friend to do bad stuff, trying to convince him to do this, to do that. It's throwing him off the path. He sees a person not doing well. He tries to nudge him onto the path. He's trying to steer you away from that narrow opening, from that Gehenna, that its opening is very narrow. I thought about this thing. I don't know. It was really before, but I'll just throw it out here. If a child comes to a mother and tells the mother, "You moichel me for everything I did to you, all the times I was mitzvah you," the mother's going to say, "Yeah, 100%." Moichel you. If the mother, "Listen, I don't want to shower today. You know, you're a teenager. I don't want to shower this week. I don't want to go to school for a week. Wasn't absolutely not. But you love me. You're moichel me. When I ask you for mechila and everything, you're moichel. But now, no, because this is what you need. I know what you need, and this is what I want you to do. A mother looks at it differently. It's like the kid is like, well, wait a minute, where's the love? I don't want to go to school, so let me off it. No, this is what you need. Upon him, yeah. It is love. That's exactly what love is. But we don't look at it like it's smoke of the Gehenna is stuck inside that pipe. Maybe the whole Gehenna is very narrow. You know, as you get deeper in there, it gets wider and wider. A lot of times you ask somebody, why do you do this Aveira? So he says, everybody does the Aveira. So guess what? There's a lot of room in Gehenna for everybody. Just because everybody does the Aveira doesn't mean. I feel like a sheikh making that bracha and drinking it, because for many years I fasted. I got the first year 25 years ago, I went to Reb Chaim Kanievsky, I asked him if I should fast on my mother's yahrzeit. He said, it's a good idea, but you should do it with the tonight, the first time, that any time you want to break it, you can break, because maybe one day will come when it's very difficult for me to fast on a regular fast day because I have to speak and I need the coffee in the morning. So, yeah. So, you'll say, you know what? Gehenna is not for special people like Talmid Chacham that learn Torah. Talmid Chacham, who did something terrible, Talmid Loimar, Gam hi lamelech ucha. No. The Gehenna is there for everybody, even a Talmid Chacham. V'Shem Toimar in ba'etzim, you know, there's not gesund fire. Talmid Loimar. There's a lot of wood and fire. It's geshmak here. I have a geshmak video here. So I want to show you these 3 videos. At the end, you'll tell me which one. Each one of our artists worked on a different video, and they're all very, very high quality. It's a Nes Nigla. I'm telling you, Nes Nigla 2 years ago, when I had this idea that the 3D, and I hired 2 guys. I told you the story 10 times, but again, it's coming together. Invested all this money. It was a lot of money, and we weren't getting the product that we wanted. The jokes were a little bit cringy sometimes, but kept pushing forward. And at the end of Baruch Hu, it's not the end, but we're holding it at a point where I'm very proud of these videos, and they make a big difference. And these kids are dancing to them in schools. It's unbelievable. Here, check out the first one today. 3 of them.
You say that now.
Some chacham, some person, when I was 12 years old, learned with me Reishis Chachma. I was 12 years old. If you ever learned the Sefer, it tells you how scary Gehenna is, and the different Yisurim the Neshama goes through, and Chibur HaKever, and Kaf HaGilgul, and all sorts of stuff. And they say about the Vilna Gaon, he was learning with his Talmidim, Reishis Chachma. He's going over Gehenna with them. And they came to the Gaon afterwards, and they said, you know, one of the guys, he got sick from it, sick. So he said, tell him that everything we learned is only a mashal to what it really is. It's a lot worse than the Reishis Chachma. But, if you do tshuva and you learn Torah and Ma'asim Tovim, you don't have to worry about it. Our Rosh Hashivas, they love the Reishis Chachma. You'll say, you know what? When you learn Torah, you get out of the Gehenna, but you don't get anything good. No, you're going to get Gan Eden. It's going to be unbelievable. You learn Torah. Those who learn Torah, like that guy that was Nifter yesterday, his Levi was yesterday, 46-year-old. He learned Torah. He has Gan Eden waiting for him. Chal Yom Kippur Leis b'Shabbos. We learned in the Mishnah, what if Yom Kippur falls out on Friday? And you have this carbon in the Beis Hamikdash that you make on Yom Kippur. One of the Sirim, and that's for human consumption. Some of them, the other one, the Sar Lazazel, his partner, you got to burn. But there's a Sar of Musaf, I think it was, you get to eat. So who eats it though? It's Yom Kippur, you can't eat it. So when do you eat it? You eat it on Matzah Yom Kippur, which is Friday night by the Suda, gefilte fish and raw meat, because you can't cook it. When you're gonna eat, not on Yom Kippur, not on Shabbos. Who eats raw meat? The Bavliim. Omer Rabbi Bar Chana, Omer Rabbi Yochanan, loy Bavliim heim. Hello, Alexandrian. These are Alexandrians. These are like Egyptians. Says Taisus that the Chachamim, here's Taisus. The Chacham hate Bavliim. Why? Because Shalom Verakam the Yuma, Hashem hates you guys. They didn't come. They didn't make Aliyah. Ezra called them to come to Israel, and they were happy. What?
That's what Rish Lakish said to Rabbi Baba.
Yeah. Yeah.
He tried to us.
Here, this is Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish, here, this is here. All my lay, Rish Lakish, Rish Shimon ben Lakish. I go upon him, so he says, they didn't like the Bavliim in Eretz Yisrael, so it was a derogatory name. You're a Bavli. But he really meant you're the Alexandri. These are people that eat raw meat. Tanya Nami Ochi, Rabbi Yossi Yomer le Bavliim mele Alexandriim heim. Metoich shesoinim es ha-Bavliim, koiroisem Hashem Bavliim. Amar le Rabbi Yehuda, tanuach daitcha, shenachte daiti. Oh, I was so worried. You're calling me, my whole mishpacha, we're Bavliim, and we think we're fressers, we eat raw meat. Here, Rabbi says, number 2 for today. And I'm just going to say, this is not music. It even says in the thing it's not music. It sounds like it's all done by mouth. What's it called? A cappella, vocals. Yeah.
הם מטורפים הבבלים האלו.
That's the punchline. The fire is for the marshmallows. See this halachim b'Shabbos. Oh, so Rabbi Yisai, been learning a lot about the Shulchan. We're gonna have to say goodbye to him today. The way it works is we put the bread, the lechem, on the Shulchan on Shabbos, and the bezichin, the levayna, the frankincense, also on Shabbos. It stays there until the following Shabbos. Mazdor Rabbi Willig. What is it, boy? So an engagement and a boy. Gewaldig, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Huh? Amen, amen. See this halechem b'Shabbos v'sabazichim lachem Shabbos. So all the Mishnah is going to discuss different scenarios where he messed up. Instead of putting the lechem and the bezichin, the frankincense, the levayna, instead of putting it on Shabbos, he did one of them after Shabbos. See this halechem b'Shabbos, v'sabazichim lachem Shabbos, or both of them after Shabbos. Those are same cases. Instead of putting it on Shabbos, he put the levayna after Shabbos. Interesting. I got this from a number of people, so yishkoyach to all of you who sent it to me, but why is the lechem aponim different than other karbanos? Other karbanos you eat for 1 day, or maybe 2 days. Why is the lechem aponim on the table from Shabbos to Shabbos? Says the Chassam Sofer, because the lechem aponim is for parnasa. We need the parnasa throughout the week. V'hiktir es haBezichim b'Shabbos, and he went along and he took the bezichin that he put on the shulchan on Sunday instead of Shabbos, he did one day late, and he put it on the table on Shabbos, pasul. That's called mechusar zman. It's missing time. What does it mean it's missing time? It's not the right time. He put it on the table on Sunday instead of Shabbos, so it's mechusar zman, it's pasul. And once it's pasul, so what's pasul? What's pasul? The bread is pasul. The levina is the bread's matter. They go together. In order to eat the bread, you need to put the levina on the mizbeach. And you put something that's worthless on the mizbeach. It was only on the table for 7 days instead of 8. Vein chayav alayim. You're not chayav on this bread. Mishum pigol nois avertame. Interesting. Today's parasha. Pigol chutzim koimai. Here's a. I should have asked the Olam. It's obvious now. Is there pigol on lechem aponim? Is there pigol? Could you do pigol on lechem aponim, on the bread? The answer is what? Pigol, regular pigol is b'machshava. Could you do pigol on the lechem aponim? Yes or no, Ari?
Why not?
How? How would you do it?
After a
And
week.
the shulchan is to eat it after the zman.
Almost. Oh. How old are you? 11. What's your name? Chaim Pinchas what? Ellis. Says Chaim Pinchas Ellis, 11 years old. We have here 70 adults and an 11-year-old who knows the answer. And the adults are like, eh. So what are you saying? What about the Bezichin? What? His machshava? How does it work? Tell me, how does it work? He's being makter the what? The levina. This guy's crazy. This guy's like, come here, get over here, get over here. Show these people in America what an 11-year-old kid in Eretz Yisrael is like. Show them. I don't even know this guy. How long? You've been coming to the shir for a while? From the start of Menachos. 11 years old. Shalom Aleichem. Pinchas what? Chaim Pinchas. Tell everybody again. What do you tell me? What?
He could do people on the position.
On the Bezichin. How?
With he being mocked it.
You're being mocked. You take the Bezichin. What's in the Bezichin? What the Bezichin are the what? What is it?
Levina.
Right, the Levina. You take it and you put it on where?
And the Mizbeach.
On the Mizbeach. Yeah. And then what?
Shava chutz.
Machshava. Say it slowly because these guys don't understand what you're talking about.
The machshava chutz zmanai.
A machshava chutz zman. What does that mean? In your head, you're thinking.
You're gonna eat the bread after.
After what? So how typically? Let's see if he knows more. Typically speaking, how long could you eat the bread for? The lechem aparim. How long did the kohanim eat it for?
A week, like for a day.
A day. So in his mind, he thought to himself that he's going to eat the bread. Instead of for 1 day, he's going to eat it in 2 days from now, 3 days from now. And that's chutz lizmanai. Beautiful. If this 11-year-old knows it, everybody should know it, right? Yishkoyach tzaddik. Yeah, he doesn't need an MDY. You're wearing the everything's gevaldi besides the sweatshirt. You need an MDY sweatshirt. Wow. Okay, he's right. We have to learn from him. You could be, since lechem aponim has a matter, it has something called a levina. Levina goes on the mizbeach. The levina allows you to eat the bread. They're connected. It's the matter. It lets you, when you put the levina on the mizbeach, like we saw the video yesterday, and the guy said, oh, but some of the levina spilled on the floor. That allows you to eat the bread. So as you're putting it on the mizbeach, you hear Ari? Unbelievable. Now when you put the bread in, maybe I would also think that. When you put the levina on the mizbeach, I'm thinking to myself, instead of me eating this bread on Shabbos, I could only eat it today on Shabbos, I'm going to eat it on Sunday. I have a barbecue, I have guests. That's pigul. And if you go ahead and you eat the bread afterwards, you get karas. In this case though, there's no pigul, there's no karas. Why? Because there's no levina. The levina came onto the table on Sunday instead of on Shabbos. There's no noisar. If you leave it over, you leave the lechem aponim for 2 weeks, there's no noisar. Why? Because it was never mutter to eat. There's no noisar on something that was never mutter to eat. And the tamei, let's say the kohen himself is tamei, and the kohen himself goes and touches this lechem aponim, he's not chayiv kares. All three of these are kares, right? The pigul, the noisar, the tamei. There's no tumah. Why? Because it's not something you could eat. And Memela, these things, we're going to say it again 3 times. See, this halechem is a bezichin b'Shabbos. What if he put it on the right day? But he removed it on the wrong day. He removed the bezichin on Sunday instead of waiting a whole week until the following Shabbos. Psula, it's possible. And therefore, you're not chayiv for pigul noise v'tamei. See this halachim is a bezichim l'achar Shabbos. If he set up the bread and the bezichim on Sunday instead of on Shabbos, the third case, very similar cases, it all has to do with Sunday. He put the bezichin on Sunday, he put the bread on Sunday, he put both on Sunday. The bread and the levina he put it on Sunday. And he waited until the following Shabbos, 7 days later. He put the bezichin on psula. So what should he do? How do you make this work? He put it on Sunday. Something happened. There was an emergency in the Beis Hamikdash. They didn't have bread. I don't know what. He put it on Sunday. So how does he make it work? So just a simple calendar. If he messed up and he put the breads on a Sunday instead of Shabbos all the way to the right, so the first Shabbos that comes along is not good enough. It's not enough days. So you wait until the second Shabbos. You have to go all the way over here. Givaldik. Now it turns out it's on the table for 14 days. It's okay. Why? Because you need what? 13 days. Whatever days. It gets confusing because if you put the bread on Sunday and you take it off on Sunday, that's 8 days. Right? Like a bris. Reb Willig's son was born yesterday. So that was Monday. So the bris is going to be on Monday, 8 days later. Monday to Monday is 8 days. Okay. Not awesome. We learned the Yuma. The second in command after the Kohen Gadol tells the Olam there, we're talking about the Korban Tamid. I love the Korban Tamid. It reminds me of Daf Yomi. Korban Tamid in the morning. Every morning he says, go see if the sun came out. In Megia, if he does see the sun, Haroya Omer Barkoi. He says these words Barkoi. In other words, there's sunrise. Hey Rayoy. Matisyo ben Shmuel Omer, hey Bnei Kol HaMizrach Hachem B'Chevron. Did it light up all the way to Chevron? V'omer hein. And he said yes. Let's see. Check it out.
צאו וראו אם הגיע זמן שחיטה.
ברקאי!
האיר פני כל המזרח עד שבחברון? הן.
Okay. Why do you need all this? One day, they saw the moon, but they thought it was the sun. Just the other day, I was looking out the window, and I thought I saw the moon, but it was really the sun. It was the opposite. It was very, very hazy in Eretz Yisrael. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know when it was. Just the other day. Maybe it was Sunday. Friday. Look, yeah, Friday. It was, I'm looking straight at the sun, but it didn't do anything to me. It's like it didn't blind me, so it almost looks like a moon. You can get mixed up between the two. They thought it was sunrise. It was already night. So they shechted the Korban Tamid. If you mess up, so you take it and you throw it in the garbage. There's a place called, in the Azara, there's a place called Beis HaSreifa. Also outside of the Beis HaMikdash is a place. Now we're talking about inside the Beis HaMikdash, inside the Azara. The Lashon Vayitziyu is a little interesting. They took it out. Okay, fine, but it's in the Beis HaMikdash. They burn it. In other words, worthless. This is the garbage can, kaviyachol, of things that you mess up with. Just a side thing. What's going on here? You have to learn from your mistakes. They messed up once, so they put in special, what's the word I'm looking for? Safeguards, different things. Remind me, as a pilot, maybe you guys don't know 100%, but there's like a lot of safeguards that they learned. The FAA, which actually is around the whole world uses the FAA regulations. That's why you get on a plane, so they tell you the same silly speech over and over. Put on your seatbelt like this, pull it this way, the mask, you heard it 1,000 times, they have to say it over. Why? Because they have regulations. Because if you don't have these regulations, you don't have the back and forth. When the control tower tells you to make a right turn and go to runway 23, you have to repeat every word they say. Otherwise, you can't do it. Why? Because it used to be the guy said go to runway 23, and the guy went to runway 36, and then there's an accident. So they repeat after him, say over. So it's very annoying. Say the same thing. That's what's going on here. They learned it from here. What does it mean? You get up there. Everybody sees the sun. What do you say? No, I don't care. We have to have safeguards in place because we once messed up. And we learn from our mistakes. And next time it's not going to happen. Okay. Another halacha, not negea to, it's a continuation over there. The Kohen Gadol needs to toivel before he does the tamid. And there was a rule. If you go to the bathroom, you relieve yourself gdoilim, ton tefillah. Crazy thing. Imagine a guy goes to the bathroom 3 times a day. He has to mikvah 3 times.
Summer Rebbe did that.
What, every time I went to the bathroom?
He would go to mikvah every time he went to the bathroom.
Whoa.
Rebbe went to mikvah every time he thought, oh, is that a word? He went to
I remember that. I remember him going to the mikvah.
a million times a day.
We would know because we were there, and all of a sudden he'd just leave and go to the mikvah, come back in the middle of Shal Shuldas. You just went for ktanim. That you have to go to the kiyar, which is also, it's a little bit more than what we do. You have to wash your feet and hands in that position, foot on top of foot. So this line that we're about to read here is very important for the sugya. So just focus on this line. It's not only that animal that you shechted in the middle of the night instead of during the day that you have to burn. There's 2 other things. If a kohen did melika, shechted melika of the bird at night, which you're not supposed to, burn it. Put it in that Beis HaSreifa pile. So we'll focus on this one. On a mincha that you did kmitza, you took a handful at night. You're not supposed to do it at night. So what do you do with what's in your hand? Put it in the Beis HaSreifa. Let me ask you a question. You took the kmitza, you went like this. You put it into a kli at night, the middle of the night, 2 a.m. Messed up. Why burn it? Take whatever flour you have, pour it right back into the box that it came from. What's the problem? Not at night. Why at night? Night is not the time to do it. No. Why? I don't know. Oh,
What do you want
so
to do? You did it. You used the thing.
It's not a shchita.
You put it
it's
back.
not. Yeah.
The thing you already used.
It's not it. So on.
Used it in the wrong
Okay,
place.
so let's see. That's what I'm saying is what the Gemara is going to have to tell us. It's a chiddush. I wouldn't know this. What did he do? He messed up. He did something silly. If you do it with your mouth, you do kmitza with your mouth. So you do that. You put it right back in. You can't do something that doesn't work and say, "Oh, I messed up." It says Gemara, "Bishloima oilas oif." If you knock its head off, mishum delev shel you can't reattach its head. So nothing you can do about it. So you burn it. Interesting. You're not going to believe this unless you look it up, which I did. They take monkeys, cut their heads off, and switch their bodies. They did it. They did a surgery. It's called a head transplant. And the monkey's head, I'm not joking, the monkey's head lives for a week. Even bit one of the researchers. Its body is paralyzed because that they can't figure out yet how to get the spinal cord and everything to work. But the head continues to live. They did it, you can do it with the bird also. Theoretically. Think about it. Look it up. Look it up. It sounds crazy. But it only lives for like a week. And then they did it in Russia in the 50s. They changed the dogs' heads. Took a big dog and a large dog and a small dog, changed their heads. Mom, seriously. Yeah. That would be very weird if they did to human beings. Take a man's head, put it on a woman's. I don't know, like there's different things you do. Yeah, we got. It's coming up. Oh, actually, it's part of the video. What you're saying, it's unbelievable. You're mechaven. I'm serious. Mamash mechaven. The Israelis loved that video. The last video. If you have to leave today, don't leave. Don't leave. They loved it. Oh, sorry. Fine. I don't understand what the problem is. So, boys, we're going to end in 15 minutes from now, which is 8:15. We started very, very late, but we're only 45 minutes into Shir. So, but the problem is, ask the Gemara. I don't understand. What is the problem? Take the flour. Restart. Do over. Says Gemara. He asked the question. He answers the question. You see from here, like Noam said, that once you put the kmitza into the klisharis, it gives a kedusha even at night. The Gemara had to tell us a chiddush. Meisvei, but let me ask you a question. I'm going to show you a brisa that says the exact opposite, that it doesn't give kedusha at night. And in fact, the Gemara goes with this. So Naomi might not have been right over here. Meisvei, kol hakarev b'yoyim kodesh b'yoyim. Anything that's done during the day in the Beis Hamikdash gets kedusha during the day. Like what? Like everything. Like every single carbon. Balayla, kodesh balayla. Things that you only do at night. Now, here you're going to have to struggle to come up with something. What do you do at night? So Rashi says, what? But you do it during the day. You do it during the day. Rashi says in Sachem. So the Shittim Kubetzis changes it and he means to say, the other Rishonim also is talking about the oil for the menorah, because that we just learned the other day. The only thing that is at night is the oil in the menorah. That's the only thing. Bein b'yoyim, bein b'layla, something that you could do in both day during the day, like in Nesachim, in Murim. Kaddish bein b'yoyim, bein b'layla. Then the kedusha is chal during the day and the night. Akol panim, kol kar b'yoyim, kaddish b'yoyim. What's a mincha? Something that you do during the day. So when does it receive kedusha? Only during the day. B'yoyim bein b'layla. It's a big kasha. How? When a kohen messes up and does a kmitza at 2 a.m, it has zero kedusha. Why? Because it's something you do during the day. And at night it doesn't receive kedusha. I don't care if it has a klisharis or not. Says Gemara, you're 100% right. And in Kaddish the Karev, what I said that it doesn't have kedusha, I meant to say that it doesn't have enough kedusha that you can put it onto the mizbeach. It gave it a little bit of kedusha, this klisharis, in the middle of the night. Then now it becomes possible with lina, or if a tuliyam touches it, it makes it tamei. But you're right. It doesn't give it the real kedusha. It gives it a little bit. Lina. So what do we do with our Mishnah? It says in our Mishnah that if you put the bread on the table, the lechem upon on the table right on Sunday, and you put the levaina onto the mizbeach 7 days later on Shabbos, psula, it's possible. Okay, so what should you do? You should leave it like in this calendar. Let's just have the calendar up for a second. Leave it for a second Shabbos. In other words, it's on the table 13, 14 days. The Mishnah tells us it doesn't matter if it's on the table for a long time. As the Gemara, what's the shulchan? Rabbi says shulchan is a klishares. And it could be mikadosh. You tell me it could be mikadosh even at night a little bit. They should become puzzle for lina. So now you have the bread on the shulchan overnight for a long time, for 8 days. So it should make it kadosh, shlei bizmanam. It should be puzzle. Ligdosh v'lifsal. It should become Kaddish and then become puzzle because it was Lina. Your question that you just asked me, Reb Zera, is beautiful. But you brought me a Mefurish Brisa that says that if I do Kmitza at night, Shaloi Bizmana, I have to burn it. In other words, from our mission, it's mashma that there's no Kedusha night. And you brought me a raya that there is a Kedusha night because if you do Kmitza 2 a.m, you have to burn it. You have to burn it means there is some Kedusha. And our mission says there's no Kedusha. You should have to burn the lechem upon him according to what you're telling me. So we have a contradiction here. What do we do? Very simple. Laila emchus zman. What happened? You did Kmitza 2 a.m. 2 a.m. is actually like 7 a.m. When do you go? When does a kid become bar mitzvah? The night before. In Judaism, the day starts at night. So when you went and you put the Kmitza onto the mizbeach a few hours before you're supposed to, it's not like, oh, you're in left field. You're part of that day. That night is part of the following day. So Mamela gives it a psul. Laila emchuz zman. It's not considered night. It's not considered, oh, you did it the wrong day. It's part of that day. But over here on this calendar, you messed up on a few days. You can't say, oh, you put the lechem upon him on a Tuesday. It's kilu. You put it on Shabbos. No, it's too far away. But as the Gemara, what?
24-hour.
Within the 24 hours, everything is good, even though you put it at the wrong time, it's all considered one. But not if you mess up in a few days. As the Gemara, very good. But what happened? Look at this calendar. He put the bread onto the shulchan on where it's red. Rishon Beiziyar. When is he taking it off? 14 days later, 13 days later, let's call it, on Shabbos, all the way at the end. The first Shabbos, it becomes Kaddish. And then when the second Shabbos rolls around, that's when it should become puzzle. When are they going to eat it? Shabbos morning with the chont. But the problem is by the gefilte fish at night, it already became, night is part of the day. Then it stayed overnight, the whole Friday night it stayed over. It should become possible, according to what you just told me. Omar Rava b'shekadim v'silik. Says Rava, okay, I'll get out of it. It's talking about that the day before, on this calendar, the last day on the calendar of Shabbos, on Friday, he took off all the breads. He took them off. He put them like where they are. Oh, well, no, this is on the shulchan. He took them out. So they didn't become puzzle from the shulchan on Friday night, because they weren't on the shulchan Friday night. It's a little bit doichak. The lechem remained on the table the entire time. He didn't take it off. Given the sidra, since he put it on the table on the wrong day on Sunday instead of on Shabbos, naso kimi shesidroi hakoif. It's literally as if a monkey did it. In other words, when you do something wrong, it's not, you didn't do so. It's the same thing if it happened by itself. Same thing as if a monkey did it. So you didn't do the right thing. So Mela doesn't become puzzle the night before. Now, just obviously, this begs for a video. The problem is that last time we did a video with a monkey in the Beis Hamikdash, a few people sent us this. How could you do that? So if you were an artist, and you wanted to show a monkey in the Beis Hamikdash, but you can't, so what do? So here, this is how they came up. Check this out. I think you're gonna have a lot on.
Cut!
Did we get it?
Yes, that was perfect. Now change into an elephant costume and we'll film the video of Pilsha Balak Fifa Mitzrit.
A 3-video day, not bad. 3 videos. No, which one was the best video? Rabbi Isai? Zok the Mishnah. Shtei alechem, the 2 breads on Shavuos. Oh yeah, sponsors, turning to the daf. By the way, I want to say, Ari Simon came to shir last night, just his dedication. He came from Beitar. He says because he has to be in the hospital today with his father. His father should have refuah shleima. And he impressed the Israelis. He had some good jokes, some good lines. Turning to the daf. Adar Global, specialist in international financial services, Chaim Milrad, Refuah Shlema, Imi Mirasi, my mom, Fradal Elu Baschano, Basoich Shar Chol Yisrael, Omein, and birthday sponsor, Mark Ashkenazi. Huge happy birthday to the Heiliger Yossi Klein on a special birthday today. Hashem should continue to shower you with much shefa and continue that tzlacha in all you do for the klal. Omein. We love you, Yossi. Beautiful. So, I thought it's interesting. Shtei alechem. When do we eat shtei alechem? On Shavuos. Today is basically Shloshim Yom K'nei Chag, maybe 31. Look it up, something like that, right? We're 19 days into the Omer, and 49 is the Shloshim Yom K'nei Chag. Shtei alechem necholis empachas mishnayim. So you always eat the shtei alechem minimum 2 days after it's baked. Why? Because you have to bake it before Yontiv. You're not allowed to bake. Now we all know that you're allowed to cook on Yontiv. Everybody cooks on Yontiv, but not for the Beis Hamikdash. There's a mandama that says you can't bake for the Beis Hamikdash. It's lochem, it's for you, but not for Beis Hamikdash purposes. So anything that has to do with the Beis Hamikdash, he holds, you have to bake before Yontiv. So Mamela, you're always eating the shtei alechem the following day, which is 2 days. Oh, Shloshim Yom K'nei Gevaldig, Yishkoich Rebullig. V'lo yoiser al shloisha. Never more than 3 days. You never eat the bread 3 days after it's baked. Keitzad, how does it work? Never is Merav Yontiv. You bake it before Yontiv. Again, it's not Doichi Yontiv. Necholis b'Yontiv l'shnayim. So then you eat it on the second day. Chal Yontif Leisachar Shabbos. But what if, I believe this year Shavuos is on a Friday? No, okay, no. Okay, so what if Chal is Achar Shabbos? Yontif Shavuos is on a Sunday. Now you can't bake on a Shabbos, obviously. So you're going to bake on a Friday. So Meila Nechalis L'Shloisha, you're going to be eating it 3 days later. Lechem Apanim. What about the Lechem Apanim? Nechal Ein Pachas Metisha. Again, Lechem Apanim you put on the table on Shabbos, and you eat it on Shabbos. So that's 8 days. You always bake it before Shabbos. On every Shabbos, that's 9 days. Never more than 11. Ketzad, how? Never every Shabbos, never every Shabbos. The normal is you bake it on a Friday, you eat it on Shabbos. That's 9 days later. But what if this is a Yontif on a Friday? So now you have to bake it before Yontif, so now you have 10 days. What about if it's a 2-day Yontif? It happened, it fell out on a Thursday and a Friday. So now you can't bake on Rosh Hashanah, so you bake before Rosh Hashanah. So now, a little bit of a problem. You're going to eat it on 11 days. Everybody knows, what's 11 days after Rosh Hashanah? Yom Kippur. So how are you going to eat on Yom Kippur? Says Rashi, you eat it on Yom Kippur, Matzah Yom Kippur. But isn't Matzah Yom Kippur considered the 12th day? It's already the 12th day. So he says, no, when it comes to Kachim, the day goes, the night goes after the day, which we said before that the day goes after the night. Okay. Baking of the bread of the lechem upon the shnei lechem doesn't push off Shabbos, doesn't push off Yom Tov. You could bake bread on Shabbos and on Yom Tov. Why? Because it's a chol nefesh. I don't agree with you that you're not allowed to bake for the Beis Hamikdash. But it doesn't push off Yom Kippur. Omer Avina. According to you, that you say if you hold it, you're not allowed to bring a shlamim on Yom Tov. Why? Because there's a machlokes. There's a concept called if I'm allowed to bring a carbon because I have to, so then I'll bring also if I don't have to, I'll bring a shlam, I'll bring a oila. But he holds no, you can't do it. What you have to bring on Yom Tov, you bring. But what you don't, bring your don't say it was a Gzera D'Rabbanan. Now what? I said I'm going to bring a shlamim. So what do? I know that my family's coming for Pesach, massive sudas, 30 people sudas. So I push off my nedavos all the way to Pesach. I shechted on Pesach, and then no, don't do that. Why? Shemayasha. You're going to get something's going to happen. You're going to get a flat tire, and then you won't bring it on Pesach. So maybe that's why Rabbanan said don't do it. You should know the Torah says don't bring it on Pesach. Don't bring it on a Yontif. This nedava. Why? Prove it from our Mishnah. What about the 2 breads? You have to bring it on Shavuos. And then there's no problem, maybe you'll get stuck. This is the Beis HaMikdash we're talking about. Viktani, and it still says, you can't bake it on Shabbos and Yontif. So Mela even thinks, so kolchke in something that's in a dava you shouldn't bring on Yontif and bake on Yontif. Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.